Oh my god, is that you, Osama?
That is him.
Oh, I've not seen you in ages, man. Yeah, I'm good, thanks. How you doing?
Yeah, doing good. Coming off a couple of random Prism losses just before this little talk to my deck here, but you know, living you learn.
Yeah, I heard you recently won an RTN on Kayo or something like that.
Yeah, it was pretty easy going actually. Yeah, it just runs real well.
How's about you show me this deck so I can run real well too?
Yeah, let's rock. Armor, base stuff you always want to run. Gauntlets of Tyrannical Rex. It's actually been so good compared to the old one, Bonebreakers. Just being able to pay that extra one just to make someone just that little bit more extra annoyed that you're hitting them for like 9s every single turn is really nice. But I'm never afraid to chuck it if I need it to block a breakpoint or just to get rid of it. If it's sitting on 1 and I need to block Leave No Witness or something, I'll happily chuck it just to keep the tempo going.
Yeah.
But yeah, whenever you've got those floating resources too, it's just it's free damage. It's really good. More breakpoints, more damage leaking through. Mandible Claw, you know, what's that to say? Go again. Hurting people in Blood Rush turns or clearing allies into gravy, things like that. It's pretty handy. I find a lot of the turns that I'm doing now are more like a Buck Wild into like a Swing Big, Show of Strength, Bear Fang sort of thing. But obviously on the bigger turns, you've got like Wild, when you're starting with the Wild Rides or the Blood Rush, the Mandible Claw is just really good damage. Savage Sash, you know, first 2 block and then you rip it when you need those resources, usually on a Blood Rush turn, but sometimes, honestly, if you've got like a Wild Ride and a blue and a Show of Strength or Swing Big and Arsenal, you can just crack it for that, just to guarantee 2 big attacks on a smaller hand. So it's got a lot of potential, and the deck's usually pretty simple to run, so you'll know the points where you're going to need to break it. If the game's really close, you've got that opportunity to do that really small 2-card hand with the 2 cost in Arsenal, just swing both attacks and get it through. So yeah, love Savage Sash, it's really fun. Scabskin's Leather, obviously, root players love gambling. I love gambling. This deck you probably need to do it a little less because it's just so consistent with the 15-ish go-agains between the Buck Wilds and the Wild Rides and making agility tokens with the wind-ups. I think I really only rolled Scabbies maybe 4 times on the Saturday, the Aberdeen RTN, and 2 of them were just for fun in the top 8 against a Prism that was beaten pretty badly. The other one did help. It let me do a big turn with just like 4 cards that otherwise I wouldn't have done, so that was quite good. But usually it's a last resort type thing now, where I just want to push that bit more damage. And Scavenging Flesh Bag, I didn't use it too much. I think the most effective one I had was in a KO Mirror when I used it on their Blood Rush turn to prevent just as much damage as possible, really. Otherwise, a lot of the matchups are actually Brown and the Crown of Providence. So I was against some, I played quite a few Marios, and some people were kind of going after my Arsenal, so that was quite good. But usually those are the 4 main ones you're running: Scabskins, Flesh Bag, Sash, and Rex. Just such good armor block and a lot of utility there.
I see. That's it's very well thought out of you. It's cool that you came up with that.
Yeah. So I guess to preface this, I stole this deck like 2 days before the RTN from the world's top 8 list. So it's the base of that with maybe a few minor differences in the blues. But yeah, anyway, back to the start of the main core set of the deck. Bear Fangs. It's pretty much standard card, really. It's so great. Now I'm looking at it now, and I don't know why I've not got a 3rd yellow one in. But card's great. I love playing it. I love seeing it every time I draw it. Hopefully you get to do a go again into a Bear Fangs. You set up that Might token. Because setting up a Might token every turn is just really nice value across the turn. So you can always come in for like a break point on the first attack the next turn. Yeah, and then 9 Buck Wilds did so much work in all the games I played over the weekend. Even if it's a blue one, I don't care. Just having that go again to start off with, or maybe 6 damage, 7 damage, 8 damage with the Might token starting with, and then into a Show of Strength, Swing Big, Bear Fangs. It's just so good. It's so much damage, and it's so easy to do on just 4-card hands. You don't need a card in Arsenal. You can just draw 4 cards, swing 7 into 8, and just keep doing that turn after turn. It's really strong. High Pitched Howl, I absolutely love the card. Every time I drew it, I was happy to see it. Just making those little vigor tokens were just really handy for multiple scenarios. It allowed me to block a bit more and play smaller hands that were just as strong because I had the vigor tokens and the extra resources. So that's really cool. Not sure if I'd change it to 3 or not, but a bit more experimentation there. But yeah, I love the card. Savage Feast is a weird one. I know it's a pretty staple card. I'm not a super big brute player. I was an Aurora player, and then I've been homeless for a couple months now, not playing too much. But I borrowed this Kayo deck from my good friend Finley, very good Fin set player. So shout out to Finley for lending me the deck. I've borrowed the deck for like the last 3 sort of pro quests or RTNs or things I've had to go to sort of have a good time, roll some scabbies. So not a brute professional, but I enjoy playing the deck. Yeah, with Savage Feast, it's a bit of a weird one. I sided it out in a lot of the matchups because I was so happy with the rest of the deck. I never felt like I missed it, that I needed the extra draw discard. And that I was just so solid with all the go-agains that, didn't miss it. I'd rather usually play the Reckless Stampedes or the Strongest Survive. But if I felt like I didn't need to side it out for any particular matchups, maybe Guardian I wouldn't side it out and I'd keep it in, things like that. It's a good card, but it's not a favourite. Show of Strength has been great. It's just another 2 for 8 most of the time. Some people, I guess, have got the higher powers to block it out. But I find that a lot of the time when they do have the higher powers, I don't mind if they're blocking it out, getting the tempo anyway. As long as they're blocking and not doing damage to me, I don't really care. So Show of Strength just is great. Another free Swing Big a lot of the time. Sometimes it's better than Swing Big because you don't give them a Quicken token if they do block it out. Same thing with Swing Big, just another 2 for 8. Just feels so oppressive sometimes. You're coming for 8 multiple turns in a row. It really wears players down and they feel like they don't know what to do. If they then can't hit you back that hard, which a lot of the time they're not. So yeah, I love those 2 for 8s. Then Wild Ride again, absolutely loved it. I enjoy the Wild Rides more than the Buck Wilds purely because it gets the claw on mine. It allows those turns where you do Wild Ride into claw into one of the powerful 2 for 8s. Those are probably like your best turns apart from Blood Rush. And yeah, I definitely try to prioritize setting up those cards in Arsenal a lot of the time. Sometimes I could, depending on the matchup, I maybe could have thrown it or I could have clawed, and sometimes I'll do the claw just so I can allow my next turn to then lead up into potential draw the Blood Rush, start with a Wild Ride, or Blood Rush then Wild Ride and do the guaranteed pretty big turn. Yeah. So a lot of the games I do find myself prioritizing arsenaling those, maybe sometimes clawing instead.
I will say that that's probably the biggest thing that you do that I've noticed that other people often call you out for. But those other people aren't here right now because you won the RTN and they didn't. So
it's true, definitely true. I just like the consistency sometimes, and like when you're playing the game and you feel like you understand the state of the game and that I want to keep those consistent turns coming. It always depends, but I think a lot of the time when I make those decisions, I feel like it's justified. And the difference then is just personal preference between players, but I like that sort of consistency at the moment, and I felt like it worked really well.
Yeah, it clearly did.
Beast Within, yeah, just a solid card. It sucks to stick it in Arsenal, but it's still fine to chuck at someone. Sometimes you have those off turns where you end up not wanting to IP yourself and stick one of Beast Within or one of the blue 3 costs. I just suck it up and get over with. Arsenal it, throw it if I have to. If they disrupt me, I can laugh in their face and say, I got rid of a bad card. But I have had Gravies actually kill Beast Within, let me draw cards. It happens every now and then, but mainly you want to be setting this up with Blood Rushes or other draw discards and just praying that you hit the 1 out of 2 or 1 out of 3. I think I got quite lucky with Beast Within over the weekend. I had some pretty nutty turns where I did discard it, draw it, and then have another, draw like a Wild Ride or something, set up really big turns. So yeah, love the card.
Mm-hmm.
Blood Rush Fellows, absolute key component of the deck. You want to see them early, you want to play them early, so you can then find your other ones, draw further into your deck. It's just so strong. You don't always have to have the perfect one. Sometimes sometimes you just play the first one. You just draw up 4 cards, play the first one just to get the tempo. Try to get the other opponent blocking. And if they don't, you're still probably getting a lot of damage through. And, sometimes you end up drawing, all you can do is send a claw into one of the blue, vigorous smash ups. It's still fine. You're still sending over 10 damage, like 13 damage. Or things, it's fine. But the really big turns are when you've got the wild rides, you've got the go agains. A lot of the time with this deck, you don't have to roll the scabbies. Yeah, the big turns, you'll end up drawing the go again, and you'll naturally get the go again, claw, big attack. It works really well. Vigorous smash ups, absolutely love these cards as well. Same reason as the high pitched howls, just sometimes being able to block and then do something like a 2-card hand where you've got the wild ride, the extra resource, and the blue. You can wild ride and claw. This feels really good, just that you can block out a bit and then still do a pretty good damage turn into maybe some of the more destructive heroes like Mario or something like that. So those have been great, and those clash cards work really well with Unexpected Backhand, which is the last sort of main board deck card. Just the fact that when you reveal that card off the clash, you deal 1 damage to the other hero. I absolutely love that. It's so funny when it happens. People don't really expect it, or they're not thinking about it a lot of the time, and it can damage can add up, or it can just win you the game out of nowhere. Very cool.
Yeah, it's a cool card. I mean, the clash stuff in this deck is bonkers. Like, I can see you've got a lot of vigor generation in your blue slots and the yellows in your resource base, basically, and they all block 3, which is pretty cracked because the consistency it offers is insane. And then when you're getting your consistent, so like if you're blocking with vigor smash up, you're getting 1 value from the vigor, and then you're pinging your opponent as well. Crazy.
Yeah, it's really nice. When it all comes together, it's so good. Absolutely love that's those additions to the deck. Yeah, because I played versions of this deck throughout the year without those kind of things, and it wasn't as good. It's so much better now. Kayo feels like he's in a really good spot to just pick up the deck and play him, and probably do quite well. Agile Windup, just a great card. Just to if you're going first or second, just be able to discard it, make that agility, and start off strong. Be able to start your turns with maybe one of the Bear Fangs, or one of the do 2 cost 8s and swing big into a show strength, something like that. Always great. And then what have we got? Energetic Impact, another card where it's a bit more conditional. You need to block with an actual yellow 6 power card to get the vigor token, but sometimes you land where you don't have a go again. You block 6. You can even block 9 if you've got multiple ways to make vigor tokens and you're pretty confident you're going to get 2 vigors, so you could block 9 possibly, and then send one of the swing big show strength for 2, basically for free. Those options are really strong. I actually at one point made 3 vigor tokens and tried sending a Buck Wild, and I realised that I had a 6 power to pitch, but I couldn't pitch it. A Buck Wild actually didn't get go again, so I'd watch out for that. Pretty rare instance there, but that was slightly embarrassing. I missed out on 3 damage on that turn because of that. But otherwise, yeah, vigors are great. Might wind up, same thing as Agile Wind Up, just a little nice start a game thing, or off turn where I'll just make an extra little might token by discarding. Maybe give your claw go again as well, that sort of thing. So same with Agile Wind Up, give claw go again on some turns, which is nice. Run Roughshod, great 1 cost. It's conditional that you have to have discarded something else, but on the turns where you can get that going, just a 1 cost to be able to send 5 damage or 7 damage on a Blood Rush turn is really good. And sometimes when you pop Savage Sash, you can just send it for free. I've done very small turns where I've done like a little wild ride, and then done Run Roughshod, breaking Sash, so I could forward everything, just in low resource hands, that sort of things. Just in when you're like a pretty tight game at the end, those sort of plays can really get you there. So it's nice. Smashing Ground, just another great blue block 3 that you don't feel so bad playing when you draw off a Blood Rush. It'll come in for 7, potentially disrupt the arsenal for a breakpoint. So it's just such a great little addition that you put into the deck. I really like it. And then the Unexpected Backhand, blocks 3. Doesn't feel great to send this one, but I'll do it. If that's all I've got, because I'm Blood Rush, I'm sending it. But yeah, ideally you want to see these off the clashes. And yeah, if you reveal us off the top with a reckless stampede, you're in the money. You're doing a lot of damage, especially against someone like Kasai or one of the warriors, someone with low poppers like Mario. If you reveal the reckless stampede, you're going to do like, depending on how much they block, like 4 damage, 6 damage. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I've only just realised that synergy between the two cards. That's absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, I didn't get it to line up on the reckless stampede, but if it does, it's just such a nutty amount of damage. Some people, won't be thinking about it, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
Onto the inventory. The inventory, probably where I changed a little bit from the world's list, only a tiny bit. I kept the no fears in because I tested that out a little bit. I only really did a few practice games because I only decided to come to the event pretty late on. There was only a few days before. So yeah, pretty glad I actually showed up. My thinking for the no fear, I guess, is I run it in the Mario matchup and maybe some other matchups where I think they're going to disrupt my hand. So I can just shut the card out, say, I don't care. You can do whatever you want. I'm still going to hit you with all my cards. And I've managed to block a little bit of damage. Sometimes the Mario player can then, flick to get rid of the prevention, but as long as it didn't disrupt my hand, I don't mind taking the 5-6 damage and he's lost a dagger. So it's pretty good. It's pretty good into some Riptide decks. Some of those can be quite disruptive and go after your hand. You need to watch out for that.
If any deck is still using Dominate as a mechanic, I imagine this must be really good.
Yeah. Good point. Bravo was still around. Watch out for him. Yeah, so I definitely enjoyed the No Fear in all the games I ran it. And then Reckless Stampede, probably my new favorite card in the deck. It just feels busted. It really does.
It's a weird coincidence that it's your favorite card in the deck, because it's easily my least favorite card, printed from Super Slam, probably. This card is infuriating.
I think with Flesh and Blood cards, the amount I enjoy the card is how much my opponent hates it. Again, I see the pain on their face when I'm playing it. It's great.
People are crying about Verdants and Storm Striders. This is like Storm Striders and Kayo. Like, you go below 5 life. GG's, mate. Next time I see a Reckless Stampede. It's so stupid.
Yeah. If you see them late when the game's tight, it's just you're probably going to win the game. Cause, you need to block it out, and you're probably going to win the clashes. It's a pretty crazy card, especially when they're blocking it with little equipment pieces and things like that. It's quite funny. But also the fact that it's 2 cost is crazy. I think. I guess it blocks 0, but most of the time I'm not blocking. I will say sometimes you do draw. If the opponent's going first, I've played a few games against Kasai today where they can just kind of blow you out if you draw the no blocks. Can go down 9 life, that kind of sucks, but a lot of the time it's fine. But yeah, I tend not to notice the no block parting of it. It's just such a good card. I don't plan on blocking with it anyway.
Yeah.
It's really great. What matchups? I even ran it in Victor, I think. I was still beating Victor in clashes. I probably avoid it, but who are the main people I ran into? Loved it in Mario, any of the warriors. Verdance is great. Verdance likes blocking it quite a bit. You're usually doing the damage. I mean, and if they're not blocking it, then you're winning, right? You're getting your damage through.
Yeah.
Strongest Survive. I didn't play it in too many of the matchups that I played on the Saturday, but it is a good card. If you're playing some of the warriors, they just have to block it. They can't deal with it, or else they'll discard the card. So if you're coming in with big damage, like Kasai, even Mario, most of the time doesn't have any power cards in his hand, so he just has to full block it or he's discarded. Really good way to get some tempo back. And yeah, you can do a Buck Wild. They'll probably block a little bit, then Strongest Survive, and then they have to give you the rest of your hand, and then you're back to just tempoing them out. Really good. Smashing Performance was a bit of a last minute. I was thinking what deck kind of gives me. I had 2 slots, and I was like, what deck kind of annoys me quite a lot that I would like to get a little more tech into. And I was thinking Dash IO. I know it's pretty aggro race, but you always try the processor 5 things in the first turn, and it's just they always have it. So I thought it'd be funny just to have Smashing Performance in, just to test it out, really.
Yeah.
I wanted to see how it would go on the day, but I never managed to play any. There was one in the room, good friend Marco, but wasn't having such a hot day, so I dodged him, which was great because he's beat me so many times shooting with dash out.
Yeah, shout out to
this guy while he's doing it, but I absolutely hate him when he's doing it.
No, it's a facade. He's not really nice. So shout out to Marco for not winning any games at the RTN.
Yeah. Then on to some of the sideboard equipment, beating trackers. I was planning on running it in sort of really fast aggro matchups, but I think I stuck with Gabbies and all of them. I would have ran it into something like Syndra or something like that, but I don't. Were there any Syndras there on the day? I don't even remember.
Syndra doesn't exist.
Yeah, I feel like it wasn't existent. I might have ran it even into Dash Out. I probably would have taken the Scabbies just for the more block to stop boom grenades and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But the idea behind it, I think, is just to run into super aggro matchups, and just didn't run into many of them, so didn't really run the beating trackers. Because I'm not a long time group player, I just play it for a couple times this year. I haven't had a lot of experience with beating trackers, but yeah, if Syndra was still around, I would run into Syndra and just blast through the game and get that extra point, really get some damage through. Crown of Providence was really great against Mario. Usually when you're running the Intimidation hat, you always have to worry about your arsenal, but the first time my arsenal was targeted, every single, in both the Mario games I played, here's the hat, we just keep on trucking, and it was pretty great. Did I run it in any other matchups apart from Mario? Maybe in the Ira matchup as well, because they tend to have things like CNCs. I think I had the Intimidation hat for that as well. I mean the Crown of Providence. Yeah, just basically, and Gravy for his big bloody boat. Just so you can tell Gravy, no thanks.
Yeah.
I'd like to draw a card, please. But I didn't actually play any Gravies, which was a shame. So I actually did want to play them. I wanted to see how this deck would do into it. I had some trouble with Gravy before.
Based on the week 1 results of RTN, you probably don't want to run into Gravy.
Yeah, it's crazy. There's quite a lot of them, and I'm surprised. Yeah, didn't see any in my run to the top, so maybe I was quite lucky in that regard. Tunic was an interesting one. When I copied the deck, I seen he had it in there, and I was like, well, what's this guy doing? But I tried it for some of the longer matchups, and I thought, actually, it's quite cool that some of the value you'll get off the Tunic is probably a bit better. It might allow you to get an extra claw in, maybe allows you to get another 8 cost from Arsenal that you otherwise could have afforded, and just like in the span of a very long game.
Yeah.
It's quite good. So things like maybe Kasai, I think Kasai might be a target for that. And then I'd probably the Guardian matchups I'd run the Spring Shooter, the ones I think are people are trying to fatigue me. Probably Florian. He's looking like he might be on the comeback a bit. So I'd probably test that into him, see how that goes. Then Null-Moon Gloves. So yeah, I've got like a 3AB plan for Verdance. But I might swing that down to 2. But keep the Null-Moon Gloves or Boots. I think I decided that I wanted to keep Gabbies in all the matchups. There's a bit of a decision point between that, whether I get the gloves or the boots gone. I think it's personal preference. I think I did miss the gloves a little bit. I need to test that a bit more for maybe the next time I play Kayo. But I guess that's up to you. You could use the boot slot for Null-Rune or the glove slot, whichever one you prefer to keep the most.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, Skullhorn, just that 2AB for Burdens to stop some of their aggressive or high arcane turns on the turns where you maybe don't have go-agains. Don't tend to block every spell because you usually have good hands you want to play, but on the dud ones you can be like, oh, here's the AB, I'll save myself a little life and stay in the match, keep going. Yeah, so that's the deck. I was really happy when it performed well. Felt pretty. Most of the matchups felt pretty easy to play. I've played Fab for quite a while, so it's a lot of base, foundational game knowledge, knowing the matchups, and then deck plays itself most of the time. No real secret sauce, just unga bunga, hit them. They tend to fall over. Pretty sad. Yes, another shout out to Finley again for lending me the decks. It was pretty great because I didn't want to play Prism with 3 hours sleep. That would have been a disaster.
Yeah, thanks Finley for lending him the deck. Real champ.
Yeah.
So, yeah, thanks for going through the deck. Would you like to go through the tournament report now so that the budding fans at home can listen to how you beat all those suckers except that guy in round 3 on the day?
Yeah, that guy in round 3, he got real unlucky. So my first match of the day was Vincent, and I'm terrified playing Vincent because I feel like every hand they've got has got some in it. And our local Vincent player from the year is really good. He's beat me so many times, it's really upsetting. So I get in my head a little bit when I'm playing Vincent, but this game was very close. I think my opponent made one little mistake where he popped his gloves on a turn where he had the Rune Chance ability to swing the attack. And I think if he didn't do that, he might have not had 1 or 2 turns where he couldn't do anything, so he didn't have the Rune Chance, and he took the blood debt.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that made the difference. I may have been smited, not made top, and I definitely would have made top 8, but things might have been different if he didn't do that one. So I think that was his one mistake there. But otherwise, played around to come a little bit, but most turns he blocked out, and I could tell he had no cards to surprise me with. I took the damage and then just swung back. Sometimes you can get stuck trying to think, I'll pay this off, I'll block out, and then you just get overwhelmed. Vincent can do a lot of damage, just really consistently. So I just took the damage and swung back and hoped for the best, and it paid off.
Nice.
So that was quite good. Second matchup was against the historic matchup against Sharif Shaban. He'd beaten me earlier in the year in the same store twice. I was playing my really favourite hero, Aurora, the Viserai, and I got wrecked both games. It was very upsetting. Don't think I drew any channels or anything. So this was revenge, and I thought to myself, if I can beat this man right now, today's my day. And luckily I did. So that was an interesting match because Sharif made a bit of a misplay, I'd say, where he wasted his hat on a turn where I didn't the Blood Rush spell, so he didn't use his Intimidate hat, the flashback. Whereas in my mind, I was thinking, I'm not going to use this until he's used Blood Rush spells to get the absolute maximum value. There might be some, scenarios where you might use it differently, but that was my thinking, and so I got the most value out of my hat, and I think that's what won me the game in the end, because it was a pretty close game otherwise. So really happy with that victory. Sharif was devastated. That made me feel really good going into my next game, because I was facing an absolute titan of the game, the host himself, Trade Federations. So that game was quite interesting as well, where there was that one little decision point that might have changed the game on its head. Yeah,
I chose the wrong card with a Deadeye, so I hit you with 19 Dominate, which I gladly announced to the room, because it was I went first set up, and then immediately hit you with, I think I took 15 damage though, and you're like, uh-oh. And then I was like, 19 Dominate. And I looked at your hand, it's 2 Blood Rush, a blue and a red. And I chose one of the Blood Rushes, but I should have chosen one of the blues, because you're obviously playing the Blood Rush regardless, and so having less resources is what matters. And I just goofed it, and I think because your Blood Rush turn wasn't that good. It was Claw into blue Buckwild. So that's a 3 cost as well. And if I'd chosen that, you'd had to have popped your Sash, and that's really bad for you at least. So that was a lot of value lost in just that one choice. But you also played well. You saw Reckless Stampedes in the late game, of course. Really well played. Really well played.
Better lucky than good.
Yeah, exactly.
So that game genuinely could have lost that if that had gone differently. I think I can't remember what turn I used the Sash on down the road, but obviously I would have been forced to pop it there to get that value through. So that little thing there went my way, helped me go 3-0. At that point, I'm pretty sure I was locked, so I was quite relaxed at that point with my other games. Maybe too relaxed, because I got absolutely domed in the next one by Mr. Daniel winning himself on Verdant. Made some minor mistakes in that. Well, a few minor mistakes in Fab can turn into a pretty big one. Pretty big overall negative. So I won the die roll, and I let him go first. Usually, in the previous Verdant match games I've done throughout the year, I've not done that as Kayo. Don't know why I did that this day. I'm gonna put that one down to 3 hours sleep. I also ran Tunic instead of Sash, thinking it might be a long game. It was not. So running the Sash would have been way better, just for the extra 2 block, to be honest, and maybe a turn where I could have got a bit more aggro.
I would say as well, even if it's a long game, Yeah, playing Tunic sets you up to play a long game, but into Verdance, the long game suits her, I would say, rather than you.
So I think in that regard, I don't really know what I was doing at that point. I maybe got a little complacent in that game. So that was probably the worst mistakes I made of the day. It just in terms of my game plan and initial sort of setup to it. I think I played it fine. Other than arsenaling, I don't think it was a mistake. I just got super punished. I arsenaled the Blood Rush Bellow and then he plowed it next turn, obviously. So that sucked. I think if I was to go back to the game again, obviously I would just play it. Just get the damage in. Don't arsenal those high target cards unless you check the grave and see all their plows are gone. Because that obviously set me back. Because in the end, the game was quite close. So he didn't gain that 4 life on his turn 0, and I used that Blood Rush Bell. Could have been different, but lost the game. But I had a good chat with Dan after about it to talk about my mistakes. Remember those for the next one. That's what Fab's about. Learning from your mistakes, becoming a stronger player, Tim.
Quite right.
Blue from the discard. So next round was against the first Mario of the day. Didn't really care about that either because I was locked, so I was just having a good laugh. That game went pretty well. Bruno made a pretty bad mistake at one point where he played 2 cards. He looked at my hand with that assassin card, and he played another card and realised he didn't have any resources. I told him he could take it back. He said he'd already looked at my hand, so he just kind of passed. That was sad. I think it would have made like a 4 life difference. Maybe changed the game slightly, but I ended up winning that anyway. Just KO doing big numbers. It was pretty smooth.
Yeah.
Next game, in the first game of the top 8 in the quarters, played Justin on Ira. And I was pretty nervous about that because Justin beat me quite a lot recently. But it turned out to be super easy. Because I was 3rd place going into the top 8, so I think for all my games in the top 8 I got to choose, luckily. And I think that made a really big difference. Of course it does. I think I got to go second in all of them, except in the finals when I chose to go first. So I went second into Justin and just the deck played so well. I just always had it. I was hitting crazy beast within triggers and doing like 3-4 attack chain links. Some of the times it was just, I think if I had my life totals here, I think I ended on like 23. Just didn't have to block anything, so he wouldn't hit me with anything I cared about. So that was good. So then I achieved my goal. I got to qualify for nationals, and I was pretty relaxed at that point for the rest of the games. I then played another Mario, Yor, and same thing again, just absolutely blew his pants off. I wasn't, the deck just flowed so well, there wasn't a lot of thinking. I think I ended 20 plus life again. He just couldn't do anything. And that's kind of what happened. That's how I feel about Mario, and if they just don't hit the disruption, they don't roll the ones that actually do anything, I just don't care. You can do your like dagger for 10, I'll send like 16, it's fine. And then in the finals I played Prism, which is a super KO favourite matchup, but I was terrified because I was like, this will be really embarrassing if I lose in the finals. It's a super favourite matchup, but it was tremendously easy. I talked to Simon's a really good Prism player, but we were all very tired, and he was playing Vestige, and he didn't draw any auras till like the last turn of the game. It could have maybe blocked out a bit more, but it wasn't going well. I was rolling Scabbies for fun, rolled a 1 instantly, got punished. Did it again the next turn, rolled a 2, and I decided, you know what, I'll maybe stop doing this. And I just started attacking him, and I killed him. And that was it was a pretty easy RTN, I'm not gonna lie. First game was the hardest game, and then the rest of it was pretty smooth sailing. Didn't care about the loss because I was locked anyway. Mild, pride hurt a little bit, but otherwise unscathed. And it was a great deck. Really, really fun to play, easy to pick up, and he's just in a great spot right now against a lot of the top decks. I think the only deck I was mildly worried about, because I had almost no practice, was Gravy. Probably requires a bit more thinking, a bit more practice. I wanted to practice it a bit more, but I built the deck like on the Thursday. I played like 3 games on the Friday, and then I was ready. So yeah,
Cool.
recommend. Very fun. I had a great time, and then got to make it home as well through the snow and the fires that we've seen on the way back. It was great.
Yeah, we for anyone not involved in the RTN, which hopefully is the majority of people, it would be nice to get more than 20 views. We had to travel up to Aberdeen in a blizzard and then travel back in a blizzard as well. In like all the trains are being cancelled and stuff. It was hell. So it would be pretty bad if you went all the way up there and didn't win anything. That would be awful.
Yeah, that couldn't be me. Yeah.
And your gold foil was a spider's bite as well, which, despite what Shreve says, is a very good gold foil. He was telling us in the car that he was telling you it was a bad one just to try and make you feel bad. But
oh, was he? Oh, yeah. Shreve wouldn't do that to me. He's a pretty good friend. And he actually, I think he's actually lied to me about how to join the marketplace in the Fab Global Discord. He's like, message this moderator, secret password's bananas. I feel like that's not the case. This moderator's ignored me. I feel like I've been massively trolled.
Okay, well, yeah, thank you for telling us about how easy your tournament run was and how you just played a broken deck that just functioned well all day. No skill at all, apparently. No skill at all.
Almost no skill at all. Great deck to play. If you can play him, I'd highly recommend it. It looks like he's going soon, and he's in like the most fun spot to play at the moment. And yeah, don't really need to roll scabbies, but still fun when you do. You know, it's always there for that little adrenaline rush and make your opponent really upset when you get those 2-3 action points.
Yeah, like when the deck doesn't function and you're losing, just do the get out of jail free card.
And I love gambling, so it's pretty great.
There's a 1 in 2 chance that it gets you what you need. So, and just to go back to the
really hard, it's always going to be the 4.
And just to get back to the no skill part, if that were actually true though, Sharif would have done well, but he didn't. So clearly you've got some skill.
Sharif had a bad day, which made me happy. Because my games are always done in like 50 minutes. I got to go walk around, watch all my friends suffer as they lose.
Nice. Well, speaking of your friends, do you have any shout-outs before we close off the video then?
I mean, I mostly just keep making fun of Sharif, but shout-outs, who's friendly on the day? You were quite friendly, Tim. You were friendly. That's lame though. You're making the videos.
No, you're obliged to do it though, so.
I'm going to shout out Baby. He played really well, and I'm so happy he lost in the semis because I wanted to play that prison player who ended up beating him. And it was really funny watching him lose. Sorry, David, but it was. But he was a good sport. It was really fun. Maybe I did that bad. David might not be happy about that.
Oh, that's staying in. I'm going to tell him about it as well.
I think he's going to see it. Simon as well, because basically, actually, you know what? Scratch that. Everyone we drove back in the car with, because we had to bring an extra person back because the trains were cancelled. So we were sandwiched in there real close. And I know you've driven in the car with us, Tim, and we've gone places we were sandwiched in. It's real personal. You're really up in someone's space, and you have a really good laugh.
Yes, that's what RTNs are all about.
Yeah. Snuggling with grown men in the back of a car.
Well, on that note, it was nice to bump into you again, Sama. Just happy coincidence it happened to be after your RTN and that you're willing to talk to me about it on such short notice. But again, I thank you very much for your time. I congratulate you again. I wish you the best of luck at the Glasgow RTN so we can do another video on the exact same deck. And
you're making me tempted. Yeah. Try it. See if I can replicate my success.
We'll have to come up with something. But yeah, thank you so much for being on, and have a good day, I guess.
All the best. Thank you. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.